Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Uh, just to continue the reading of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita on Mondays, to please everybody, Sri Kalachandji, Giriraj Maharaj, everybody. I'll just be filling in today. And so, let us sing. Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Sita Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Sita Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right, Jai. Om Agana Chirmani Shankanana Jana Shalakaya Chakshurama Tamina Tasmai Shri Gurava Namaha Sri Chaitanya Namano Bishtam Shtapitam Yana Bhutale Svayam Rupakadamayam Daditi Svabadantakam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padaka Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Shah Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Virganatam Vatam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakambitam Scha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshware Vishabhanustate Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vanchikapat Rubyascha Kripasinubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right, so I'm praying at the lotus feet of my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, Radhakala Chanji, all the assembled devotees, that I can speak some words in the glorification of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita to serve Radhakala Chanji and inspire myself and everyone to learn the mood of Srila Prabhupada, imbibe that mood as our own, and spread that mood to others. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Alrighty, so thank you very much. Okay, so just finding this spot in the book here. Here we go. So we're in the Madhya Lila, chapter 7, and we stopped off at text 41, and so basically, if I'm remembering correctly, last time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wants to begin his tour of South India, but he wants to do it like as a solo mission, and basically all of his followers and his dear associates are like don't go, and so there was conversations about basically this like serving and separation, serving together or in separation, and we had a really interesting conversation about this service. So I'll just recap a little bit, like a couple of things. Like we can recap with Madhya Lila chapter 7, text 13. Knowing everything, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was aware that Vishvarup had already passed away. A pretense of ignorance was necessary, however, that he could go to South India and liberate the people there. Right? So upon hearing this message from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the devotees became very unhappy and remained silent with sullen faces. Nobody wants to be separated from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Let's see here. And so they all, are coming up with various ways to get him to stay. And basically towards the end of the verses that we read, they was presented. All you are carrying is your danda and your water pot and your garments, right? And so they're saying, how will you carry that because he was chanting on his hands. How will you carry your water pot? They're trying to come up with ways to be there. And it's a very good technique. Okay, so let's see. So we can just recap again with text 41. Tabe tantra vikya prabhokari angikare taha sabak lana gela sarva bhoma gare. Except in the request of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Lord Chaitanya took all his devotees and went to the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Oh, okay, so I guess text 40 is, he will carry your water part and garments. You may do whatever you like. He will not say a word. So there are some people that are going with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Text 42. Namaskari Sarvabhauma Ashana Nivedila Sabakare Mile Tabe Asane Vilasa. As soon as they entered his house, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya offered the Lord obeisances and a place to sit. After seating all the others, the Bhattacharya took his seat. Nana Krishna Varta Kahi Kahila Tanhare Tomara Tani Alan Agna Magibare. After they had discussed various topics about Lord Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu informed Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, I have come to your place just to receive your order. Sanyasakari Vishvarup Kiyache Dakshine Avasya Kariba Amitanra Anesvane. My elder brother, Vishvarup, has taken sannyas and gone to South India. Now I must go search for him. And originally he wanted to go by himself so that he could perform all of the proper activities of a sannyas, because out of love, they were saying out of love, he was breaking some of those regulations just to please his devotees who had basically conquered him by their love. So that's why he said he wanted to go alone. Anga deha avasya ami dakshine kaliba tomara agnate suke litru ashiba. Please permit me to go, for I must tour South India. With your permission, I shall soon return very happily. Suni Sarvabhauma Haila Atyanta Katara Charane Dariya Kahe Vashadha Uttara. Upon hearing this, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became very much agitated. Catching hold of the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave this sorrowful reply. Bahu janmera punya pale panutomara sangha hena sangha vaidhi mora karileka banga. After many births, due to some pious activity, I got your association. Now Providence is breaking this invaluable association. Shri Vrajrapariyadi Putra Mariyaya Taha Sahi Tamara Vicheda Sahananayaya. If a thunderbolt falls on my head, or if my son dies, I can tolerate it, but I cannot endure the unhappiness of separation from you. Svantantra Ishvara Tumi Karibe Gamana Dina Kato Raha Dekito Maracharana. My dear Lord, you are the independent Supreme Personality of Godhead. Certainly you will depart. I know that. Still, I ask you to stay here a few days more, so that I can see your lotus feet. Tahara Vinaye Prabharastita Lahalimana Rahila Divyasokato Na Kaile Gamana. Upon hearing Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's request, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu relented. He stayed a few days longer and did not depart. Bhattacharya agraha kari karena nimantrantra grihe prakakari prabhuke karano bhojana. The Bhattacharya eagerly invited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his home and fed him very nicely. Tanhara Brahmani Tarina Namastitra Mata Randhi Bhiksha Dena Tenho Askarya Tantra Kata. The Bhattacharya's wife, whose name was Sati Mata, the mother of Sati, did the cooking. The narrations of these pastimes are very wonderful. Ageta kahiba tahe karya vishtara ebe kahi prabhara dakshina yatra samachara. Later I shall tell about this in elaborate detail, but at present I wish to describe Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's South Indian tour. Dina Pancha Rahi Prabhu Bhattacharya Stane Kalibara Lagi Agna Magila Apane. After staying 5 days at the home of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally asked his permission to depart for South India. Prober agre Bhattacharya samata haila Prabhu tanre lana Jagannatha mandira gela. After receiving the Bhattacharya's permission, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to see Lord Jagannath in the temple. He took the Bhattacharya with him. Text 56. Darshana Kari Thakur Paisha Agna Maliga Pujari Prabhure Mala Prashada Anadila. Seeing Lord Jagannath, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also begged his permission. The priest then immediately delivered prasadam and a garland to Lord Chaitanya. Agnamala pane harshe namaskara kari anande dakshina deshe kala gorahari. Thus receiving Lord Jagannath's permission in the form of a garland, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered obeisances, and then in great jubilation he prepared to depart for South India. Bhattacharya sange areyata nijagana Jagannatha prakadzina kari karila gamana. Accompanied by his personal associates and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu circumambulated the altar of Jagannath. The Lord then departed on his South Indian tour. Samudra tire tire alanta pate Sarvabhauma kalina achara gopinate. While the Lord was going along the path to Alalanath, which was located on the seashore, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya gave the following orders to Gopinathacharya. Chare Gopina Bahir Rasa Rakiche Gare Tata Prashadana Lana Isha Vipradare. Bring the 4 set of loincloths and outer garments I keep at home, and also some prasadam of Lord Jagannath. You may carry these things with the help of some Brahmin. Taba sarva bhoma kahe prabharacharane avasya pailibe prabhu mahanivedane. While Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was departing, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya submitted the following at his lotus feet. My Lord, I have one final request that I hope you will kindly fulfill. Ramananda Rai Ache Godavari Tire Adhikari Hayana Tehiro Vijay Nagare. In the town of Vijayanagara, on the bank of Godavari, there is a responsible government officer named Ramananda Roy. Purport. In the Amrita Pravada Vyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur states that Vijayanagara is today known as Porbandar. There is another Porbandar in western India and the province of Gujarat. Sudra Vishayi Jane Upeksha Nakaribe Amara Vachane Tanre Avasya Milibe. Please do not neglect him, thinking he belongs to a Sudra family engaged in material activities. It is my request that you meet him without fail. Purport. In the Vanashram Dharma, the Sudra is the fourth division in the social status. Paricharyatmakam karma sudrashipi svabhavjam. Bhagavad Gita 1844. Sudras are meant to engage in the service of the three higher classes, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. Sri Ramananda Roy belonged to the Karana class, which is the equivalent of the Kayastha class in Bengal. This class is regarded all over India as Sudra. It is said that the Bengali Kshatriyas were originally engaged as servants of Brahmins who came from North India to Bengal. Later, the clerical class became the Kayasthas in Bengal. Now there are many mixed classes known as Kayastha. Sometimes it is said in Bengal that those who cannot claim any particular class belong to the Kayastha class. Although these Kayasthas or Karanas are considered Sudras, they are very intelligent and highly educated. Most of them are professionals such as lawyers or politicians. Thus in Bengal, the Kayasthas are sometimes considered Kshatriyas. In Orissa, however, the Kayastha class, which includes the Karanas, is considered in the Sudra category. Srila Ramananda Roy belonged to this Karana class. Therefore, he was considered a Sudra. He was also the governor of South India under the regime of Maharaj Patraparudra of Orissa. In other words, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya informed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Ramananda Roy, although belonging to the Sudra class, was a responsible government officer. As far as spiritual advancement is concerned, materialists, politicians, and Sudras are generally disqualified. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya therefore requested that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not neglect Ramananda Roy, who was highly advanced spiritually, although he was born a Sudra and a materialist. A Vishayi is one who is attached to family life and is interested only in wife, children, and worldly sense gratification. The senses can be engaged either in worldly enjoyment or in the service of the Lord. Those who are not engaged in the service of the Lord are interested only in material sense gratification, are called Vishayi. Srila Ramananda Roy was engaged in government service, and he belonged to the Karana class. He was certainly not a sannyasi in saffron cloth, yet he was in the transcendental position of a Paramahamsa householder. Before becoming Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disciple, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya considered Ramananda Roy an ordinary Vishayi because he was a householder engaged in government service. However, when the Bhattacharya was actually enlightened in Vaishnava philosophy, he could understand the exalted transcendental position of Sri Ramananda Roy. Therefore, he referred to him as Adhikari. An Adhikari is one who knows the transcendental science of Krishna and is engaged in his service. Therefore, all Grihastha devotees are designated as Das Adhikari. Prabhuji, do you have any insights on this wonderful purport by Srila Prabhupada? Being a Grihastha yourself and somebody that is very elevated and intelligent. Oh, I totally understand. You're busy in your Grihastha function, caring for the future of ISKCON. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, you said you were asking for. Read the purport? Okay, we can definitely do that for you. Thanks. We'll just read it one more time. In the Varnashram Dharma, the Sudra is the fourth division in the social status. Paricharyatmakam karma sudrasyapi svabhavjam. Bhagavad Gita 18:44. Sudras are meant to engage in the service of the three higher classes, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. Sri Ramananda Roy belonged to the Karana class, which is the equivalent of the Kayastha class in Bengal. This class is regarded all over India as Sudra. It is said that the Bengali Kayasthas were originally engaged as servants of Brahmins who came from North India to Bengal. Later, the clerical class became the Kayasthas in Bengal. Now, there are many mixed classes known as Kayastha. Sometimes it is said in Bengal that those who cannot claim any particular class belong to the Kayastha class. Although these Kayasthas or Karanas are considered Sudras, they are very intelligent and highly educated. Most of them are professionals such as lawyers or politicians. Thus in Bengal, the Kayasthas are sometimes considered Kshatriyas. In Orissa, however, the Kayastha class, which also includes the Karanas, is considered in the Sudra category. Srila Ramananda Roy belonged to this Karuna class. Therefore, he was considered a Sudra. He was also the governor of South India under the regime of Maharaj Pratrarudra of Orissa. In other words, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya informed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Ramananda Roy, although belonging to the Sudra class, was a highly responsible government officer. As far as spiritual advancement is considered, materialists, politicians, and Sudras are generally disqualified. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya therefore requested that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not neglect Ramananda Roy, who was highly advanced spiritually, although he was born a Sudra and a materialist. A Vishayi is one who is attached to family life and who is interested only in wife, children, and worldly sense gratification. The senses can be engaged either in worldly enjoyment or in the service of the Lord. Those who are not engaged in the service of the Lord are not interested only in sorry. Those who are not engaged in the service of the Lord are interested only in material sense gratification are called Vishayi. Srila Ramananda Roy was engaged in government service, and he belonged to the Karana class. He was certainly not a sannyasi in saffron cloth, yet he was in the transcendental position of a Paramahamsa householder. Before becoming Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disciple, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya considered Ramananda Roy an ordinary Vishayi because he was a householder engaged in government service. However, when the Bhattacharya was actually enlightened in Vaishnava philosophy, he could understand the exalted transcendental position of Sri Ramananda Roy. Therefore, he referred to him as Adhikari. An Adhikari is one who knows the transcendental science of Krishna and is engaged in his service. Therefore, all Grihastha devotees are designated as Das Adhikari. And so, I was just, sorry to be picking on you, I just was wondering if you had any reflections, because you are in the Grihastha class, and so I was wondering if you have any reflections on your service in this. Okay. He feels disqualified because he doesn't feel like the perfect Grihastha. That's debatable, but okay. Okay, but can. What was the tall order? Okay. The ideal standards in any ashram is a tall order. Yeah. So we strive for perfection. But the beauty of Krishna consciousness is that there, in Krishna consciousness, there's like a minimum level of grades that we need to score to advance to the next level. Yeah. Oh, and in India, the 36% is minimum level, and if you get above 36%, you can pass. So, so similarly in this movement, we have the chanting 16 rounds following the 4 regulative principles. That is like scoring the minimum in our movement, in any ashram. Yeah. Ah. And it depends on each individual to how much they want to score. 40, 50, 60, 80. Right? Yeah. So some devotees, just like there are 5 fingers, everyone is different. And there will be some devotees who are very advanced on the 90% level. And just like me, I'm on 36% level. And this is Gokulananda Prabhu speaking. He's being very humble. Okay? Yeah. Mm. Yeah. So in this movement, everyone has a chance to score big, in this movement. But even if somebody is scoring less than 36%, right, less than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I would. Two things required for devotional advancement: never criticize a Vaishnava, and always chant Hare Krishna. Yeah. So there's hope for a person like me. Thank you so very much. Yeah. Whatever ashram you're in, these two things you can do. And and then Srila Prabhupada is there, and he can also save us, right? Is that what you said? Yeah? Yes, yes. That's beautiful, Prabhuji. That's the glory of this movement. It's the glory of Srila Prabhupada, right? Glory of Lord Chaitanya. All we have to do, these two things, and then never criticize. I saw that on a sweatshirt once. Never criticize, condemn, or complain. Simply chant the holy name. Yeah. But I didn't buy the T-shirt because I don't feel like I'm qualified to wear that as well. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, so just to add a little bit of Srila Prabhupada from a pastime. Srila Prabhupada was praying. One disciple approached him. Srila Prabhupada said, one devotee approached Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada said, you must be 100% Krishna consciousness, and he put his hands up and surrender. Yeah. Devotee says, I cannot be 100% Krishna consciousness, what should I do? And then Srila Prabhupada says, okay, be 90% at least. His face was not overjoyed, it was despondent. So Srila Prabhupada says, okay, 80%. Still no emotion on the face. So he Srila Prabhupada took his chadar, threw it over his shoulder. So he said, okay, fine, 70%, and still if you cannot do that, I will take you from the back door. Hold on to my chadar, I will take you. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai, Jai, Jai. He's so merciful. Srila Prabhupada has really given us everything, you know. He's so eager to serve Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya is so eager to have his back. If you can't even do 70%, just hold on to my chadar to the back door. And that's what this whole movement is, right? This whole movement is just like, oh, please, give me some mercy, right? Give me some mercy, let me worship you. But I'll take the mercy too, and then we can go in through the back door. They say it's like, it's not what you know, but who you know, right? And I feel like Srila Prabhupada is really giving us this opportunity to know him, right? And so still, I mean, this is very good if you cannot do, right? But we should still try, right? Because we can all have this desire to want to know Srila Prabhupada more. And then when I know that even if we can't, you know, for whatever reason, he says, okay, I'll take you. But still, we can put the effort and try, you know, and like, just like, you know, you're doing, so many nice people are doing, right? And in this way, it's nice. It's just nice to have the effort, right? So that's I think that's what pleases Srila Prabhupada. speaking about the effort, what comes to Gokulananda Prabhu's mind is like a baby, like a small baby. Ah, oh yeah, yeah. All they have to do is cry and put their hands up, and then the mother comes and feeds the baby and takes care of the baby. And that's what we have to do. We have to cry for Krishna. That's beautiful. Thank you very much. That's the mood that we can have when we chant. It's just, Hare Krishna. Yeah, just crying out for Krishna. There's actually a book. There's a beautiful book. It's called Crying for Krishna. And it's a very small book. Fits in the palm of your hand. And it can fit in your pocket. Take it with you wherever you go. It has little phrases on each page that are just so filled with this emotion of how can we increase our desire to love Krishna, right? Because I realize I'm like I'm very far back behind, you know. So I just sometimes I pick up this book, Crying for Krishna, and I try to read and get some inspiration and feel like this, like, you know, how can I cry out? And that's the mood. Oh, I really appreciate that everything you shared, Gokulananda Prabhu. Yeah, yeah, Jai. Okay, well, okay, so this was the end of Madhya Lila, chapter 7, text 63. So next week we can start with text 64, and looks like might be a good stopping point. It's 8:33, so we all have some prasad to honor. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bo. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.